Oh yeah. Well. Hello, people. This is a first, isn't it? Look where I am, out here in the middle of nowhere. No, I'm in my backyard, and I'm looking at that Star of Bethlehem, guys, and oh my God, it's wow. I would say it's point 0.3, point 0.4 of a degree apart. The separation is just huge. Wow, this is interesting. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I hope I don't make too much noise for the neighbours. We used to have parties out here. It was just awesome. But yeah, that was a while ago when I had people here. Anyway, yeah. That's right, guys. I've got all my lights on. I don't know. I wish there was more light here, but yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I'm just going to take little photographs. So yeah. How you guys doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Hope you're all good. Hope you're all feeling well. The Star of Bethlehem is the worst thing. It is the worst thing. And that explains everything bad that's happening this year. Just everything bad. Yeah. And it's happening now. It's the worst it's been in 800 years, which I find just absolutely shocking, absolutely disgraceful. I can't believe I'm alive in this time because I've been researching this last 10 years and I didn't know it was going to be this close. And it's been close for most of the year, which it means it's a really big one. Usually it's just comes together and it flies straight apart. This one, it's been hanging together. It's been crossing over several times. That makes it a really bad one. So yeah, we are going to, I'm going to take some photographs of it. And yeah, so Hype says, clouds block me here, bless your work, thanks so much. And of course, the reason I'm doing it today, it is not the 21st. But they are damn close. It's not 21st, but I have to do it because it's been cloudy the past week. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, we're both having coffee. Cheers. So Mike's having his coffee in Montreal, Canada. G'day, Mike. So I did a live video earlier today, but people missed it. Some people missed it, even though I was in it for 3 hours. And someone logged in and says, "Damn, I missed it. You know. So anyway, I just spilled some on my leg. Okay, right. There you go. But yeah. So right, we're gonna. I think lots of the neighbours are out. I don't think there's anyone there. There's no one there. Yeah. Interesting. Hey Tina, how you doing? So yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a photo. So I'll show you how you do it, and you can get really good results because I think you'll be interested. So what you do, this is a shutter release. You hold this down, and it helps you. You can take a long focus. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to place it. And then we're just going to time it. So we're just going to do that. And I'm just going to focus it perfectly. It's perfectly focused. And we're going to time it. And as I was saying, it's 0.4 of a degree apart. So, whoops, damn, I touched it. Now that would ruin the photo, but it's fine. Okay, I'm going to 6 seconds on each focus level. And we're going to slowly defocus it. So it'll look like that, like two comets coming out after a 2-minute exposure. So every 6 seconds, I'm going to shift the focus just a tiny amount. So just do that. I believe that's doing it. Yeah, I believe that's it. Yeah, so I have to be careful not to shift it. So yeah, so again, I shift it 6 seconds. I shift it, and I keep doing that. So yeah, so Eric Edwards has retracted his venomous message. What a shame. Hope says. Only chumps dismiss Chucky's work. Yeah, only chumps dismiss Chucky's work. I'll show you this photo later. Yeah. I'm not really doing it every 6 seconds because I'm talking to you guys. 6 seconds comes pretty quick. Someone says, orange juice, anyone? What do you mean by orange juice? Someone says I need to dress up in a Persian. I would, but I went to the Persian Magi outfit store today and they were sold out. Would you believe that? Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Yeah. So what are you guys doing are you having parties? What are you doing at the moment? I think my neighbours are out at a party. They're gone. They're gone. Everyone's gone. Hello. Cool. Where is everyone? Everyone's gone. Oh, damn. I forgot to shift the focus. It's going to be a long focus. So what I'm doing a 200 ISO because it's not quite dark yet. It's got a 2-minute exposure, shift the focus every 2 minutes to turn Saturn and Jupiter into streaming comet looking like things. I'll post that on my official Facebook, Twitter later on, or even on the YouTube community tab, whatever it is, just to show. and I'm doing it today because it's going to be cloudy. It's been cloudy the past week. Do you guys understand how cloudy it's been? It's been unbelievable. Good morning, Eric. Tina says, I'm going to watch the solstice at a long barrow near me. Oh, so envious. So envious of that, Tina. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. What else are people saying? Tina says, I've been to Bethlehem. Jack says, do you think it affects us with the magnetic field? It affects us with gravity. The gravity alone is enough to change the position of the sun. You're aware of this? It changes the position of the sun. So the sun is actually orbiting around the other planets, believe it or not. It's actually moving in a tiny circle. And it's being pulled further. I've done the calculations. It's being pulled further when this happens. It's just crazy. Just crazy. This is going to be a really long focus. Jack says, too early for coffee, too late for rum, so orange juice is the logical solution, Charles. That's what you mean. I'm just having coffee for myself. You know what? I'm drinking so much coffee. I couldn't sleep last night. That's how much coffee we are drinking here. This is unbelievable. Yeah. So, Hype says there are only 3 men wise enough to see the coming of Jesus. Apocalypse J says, hello, Charles from England. Hello, Apocalypse J. How you doing? Oh, yeah, this is going to be a really long focus. I'm going to make 2 comet-like images out of Jupiter and Saturn. I'm slowly defocusing them every few seconds. I'm just gently turning the focus out of focus and holding it down with the shutter release. I hope, I've got all my lights on. I should have brought more lights, but there's no room here on this porch. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Morning from the UK. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Someone says, good night, Google. Who the hell is Google? Weird name. Oh, that's it. 3 minutes 43, and I release, and there, and I have a photo, but it's in a tiny window, so it's not worth showing you. But I'll put it up later on the community tab, and I'll do another one right now. Actually, 200 ISO, f32. So it's a long focus. That long focus helps with astronomy, looking at planets. So I'm not sure if it'll help. And using the bulb setting, obviously, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to take another one. Let's bring it back to focus. I'll just talk to you guys. So how's it going? All right. Okay. So Darren says, can I see it from Florida? I'm not sure when it's rising and setting in Florida, but for us here in Melbourne, it is setting at sunset. So I'm watching it just after sunset, really. Tina says there's a comet that passes over Luxor at 6.2 on 21st December in the morning of the Karnak alignment. Negrito says the Mandalorian has Luke Skywalker. Jake says Luke Skywalker is Darth Vader. And he also says, and Darth Vader is a chick. Luke, have we been watching the same movie? I'm not really convinced we have been watching the same movie, Luke. Luke, you've been going to the R-rated cinema or something. I think this is a very curious thing you're saying to me. Most curious indeed, sir. Waterpass, hi from Netherlands, Holland. Hey, Waterpass, how you doing? Yeah, okay. And now you're saying Luke Skywalker was so cool. Now Baby Yoda will be a Jedi. Whoa, this is some far out stuff that's happening here. Very interesting indeed. Yeah. Darren says, hi, it's 5 a.m. here in Florida. You are up early, sir. Very nice indeed. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Tina says, 10:27 here in England. I presume that's in the morning, I guess. Buckdog says, why the hell are you posting Mandalorian spoilers? Not the time. This is an amazing event. And yes, and also I'm cognizant it's not 21st, but it has been cloudy for literally the last 7 days at this time of day. And it's only at this time of day, just after sunset, we can see it because it's setting. It's over there. It's setting. You won't see it through that camera. You might see it through that camera. Let's have a spin you around. So it is. It's literally like there. Oh boy, it's literally like it's there. Do you see it? It's literally it's there. To my fingers, there it is. But you probably can't see it because the camera's just not good enough. You can just see Jupiter, but not the Saturn. that's how low it is here. It's setting, so I got to do it today. I'll see it on the 21st because we're near Antarctica. It's always sending clouds over. So yeah, so DN says he loves the Netherlands. I don't need those. Maddie says, have you noticed in Melbourne we have had sun flaring earlier this month, like weeks straight, a massive circle around the sun? I haven't noticed that, Maddie. I haven't been looking, but that's a very interesting phenomenon. You know what? Meteorologists don't know the weather. It's much more complicated than they can imagine. How the weather behaves is different to what they see. It really is, you know. It's getting darker. It's getting darker. You can see that. Hey, it was twilight before. Now it's getting night, and a thing is setting. So Ricky, hey again, Ricky says hi, Chuckle. So so for those just tuning in, I'm doing this because it's going to be cloudy. It was cloudy the past 7 days. I have to do this tonight. Talk about Star of Bethlehem. I'm here on my back porch. Been taking a photo. I'll take another one. Maddie says, have you noticed in Melbourne we had sun flaring earlier this month? Oh, yeah, I've read that. Hype says, a true Indiana Jones. Lapis Philosophorum says, woohoo, it's dark. Is it night or lights off? I'm on my back porch, and I'm taking pictures of a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. And I'm going to slowly defocus every 6 seconds, and we're going to have a picture of two comets. It'll look like two comets together. It'll look beautiful. I'll show it to you. I can't wait to show it to you. I'll do one soon. So Buckdog says, Indiana Jones, nothing. Yeah, he's nothing. Maddie says, I've got photos. Lots. You want photos? Come with me. That's what Maddie says. Ricky says, my B-day's on the 21st. Let sparks fly. Oh, my God, you're on the solstice. Lapis says, did you notice it? Buckdog says, happy birthday for the weekend, Ricky. Asahoyu says, hey, Charles. Cheers, mate. Hey, mate, how you doing? Hype says, Melbourne looks so beautiful. Mark Ukulele says, dang, Ducky, you're so on it. Yeah, so, right, we're going to take a photo. This is another photo. So the way I do it, I saw this in the 80s on an Australian Geographic magazine thing about astronomy. And what you do is you start with a perfect focus. I'm going to put Jupiter and Saturn in the top right-hand corner because they're sinking down from that area. And I'm going to take photos. So there we go. So I'm just going to hold that down. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So Ricky says, thanks, Buckdog. Asahoy, fine. It's none dark here, lol. I'm just changing that every 36 seconds or so. So Apocalypse J says, does planetary alignment equate to humans leveling, spiritually leveling up, or materialistically leveling down? You got me there, mate. XRP Beano says, by the way, this is the weirdest episode of The Big Bang Theory I've ever seen. Am I that guy on The Big Bang Theory? Yeah. XRP price booms again on 21st. Cheers from South Gippsland, mate. And he also says, by the way, oh yeah, you said that. Okay, I've read that. I mean, yeah, yeah. So I'm just defocusing. We're gonna have two commentary. It'll look like two commentary tails because of the defocusing effect. Holding it down with the shutter release. I mean, how good is this, guys? You know, everyone should be doing exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll see how they turn out later, but yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So how you guys been today? Are you going on holidays? Are you going to see your friends? Some of my neighbours are out. I just heard another neighbour returning, so I don't want to be too loud, but yeah, anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Rightio, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I did do a live stream earlier today, and it was awesome. It was 3 hours long. This one won't be as long, but I mean, you know, yeah. There you go. I thought I had to do this as a live stream, you know, because it's such a special event. Guys, once in 800 years, are you kidding me? And when we're supposed to watch TV today? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Ricky says my son's getting engaged this weekend. So excited for him. Nice. Nicey spicy there. Bit of nicey spicy indeed. There we go. That's it. Let go. Have a look. I think that'll turn out very interesting indeed, but I forgot to actually zoom in on it. I'm a bit silly. I'll have to try it again. So I'll try it again zooming in so we can get a really nice zoomed in shot. I'll have to bring it back. Where is it? It's gone. There it is. Now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to take that from the top. There we go, every 6 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6. So, Zach says, I can see it. Too far south. Can't. Yeah. Lapis says, next one is 2080. Guys, you got to see it in the next few days. Don't wait until 2080. It's not worth it. All you have to do, go out and see it now. Go out in the snowstorm and see it. Don't even bother putting clothes on. Just go and see it. Right. Hope says, I tried to see it, but clouds obscured it. Chucky has us covered always. Yeah! Oh, damn, I think I touched it. That might ruin it. It won't ruin it. It's a long focus. It's like those camera photos in the 19th century. Everyone's walking around, you know what I mean? And all the streets are empty. All the streets are empty. There must be no people. But how is the camera invented if there's no people? It must be a catastrophe. Oh no, everyone's gone. But if everyone was gone after a catastrophe, we wouldn't be here. Maybe we're not here. Oh, you know what I mean? There's some of those channels. Apocalypse says, what a moment in history. Trevor says, where is it in the sky? It's setting. Do you see my camera is like pretty? It's like that. It's going down. Sahoyu says, we have it here, Northern Hemisphere, just a hand over the horizon. Look for high places to watch. Yeah. Yeah. And the moon's close to it as well. The crescent moon is quite close to this thing. Oh my goodness. This is like a David Attenborough documentary. My goodness. So exciting. There we go. That was exactly 2 minutes. That's a good one. That's it. I'll show you that one later. I'll show you that one later. That's a good one. Anyway, it's good to take. You get to take multiple photos, and one of them is going to be good. The other ones won't be so good. You know, it's all practice and trying stuff. Yeah. So, Fond of the Dar says, can you put your phone on live cam to show your camera lens and show us your view? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll get the view. I'll show you the view. That's what we're here for. I'll just have to bring it. Oh, whoops. Bring it back to there. There's the view. Do you see it? That's it, Jupiter and Saturn, and that's on a zoom lens. That's how close they are, guys. So there you go. Jupiter and Saturn. Yeah, that's the view. Very close indeed. Hey, come back here. There you go. That's looking through the lens. Yes, sirree. And in the sky, they are. Where are they in the sky? There's the moon. They are. Hang on. Where's the moon? They are. I can't see. Oh, I can't see. I don't know where they are. Anyway. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Where was we? Zark says, if not this, then what might have it been? Amanda says, yes, Charlie. Hype says, my people say this is a star of Bethlehem, but I don't know. Zark says, I'm thinking Nova. Amanda says Mars is red as. It's really either. Yeah, Mars. The other thing is Mars is in a kind of opposition, which means very close, which is also a bit weird, you know. Yeah. Fond of the Dar says, wow. Amanda B says, boom, it's Venus and Sun we got to watch. Amanda says, man, I have clouds, moon is thin. As a whole, you says, the planets form a V like in the strange sci-fi series, forgot the name, always the V. Rune says, hi, Charles, great Megalith stream earlier. Thank you so much, Rune. Ricky says, for that duration, the only thing that makes sense is a comet. Amanda B says, Sirius and is rising. Hype B says, magi, magicians, astrologers. Hugo says, get the Night Sky app on iPhone. Yeah, and I'm taking a photo as I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm just taking a photo. Just get in there. Just align it. Just wait for it to stop shaking. And then start to defocus it and make it look like a nice comet, as you will see when I put the photo up on the community tab later on. Yeah, so what if I just stand like that, right? So I'm a bit of a ballet dancer, so I'm a bit shorter. There we go. Now I'm shorter and crankier. No, so Amanda says Nikon or telescope is a Canon. So people like to, at the moment, like to buy Sonys instead of Canons because the Canons are obviously very large and the Sonys are kind of quite small and compact, so they're better for traveling. Yeah. Yeah. Amanda says, if you watch Orion in the east, you will see a lot. Yeah. That's right, guys. That's right. So are you guys going out or are you guys stuck at home because of the, you know what? Yeah, that's right. Ricky says, I'm a Nikon girl. Yeah, Nikon, you know what? Nikon and Canon is the best. Obviously, it's the best. They're both equal. I reckon they're both equals. Nikon and Canon, they both make the best at the moment for digital. The other cameras fell by the wayside with regard to digital. Like Pentax used to be one of the best, and now they're just, you know, a bit ordinary. Yeah, yeah. Apocalypse J says, I'm a telescope guy. Nice. Hey, this would be pretty cool for the telescope, wouldn't it? You see them both in the same, you know, the same view. Yeah. Amanda says there was a movement at the station home cause a 4-year-old all good. Reefy is sweet little man. Sounds good. Amanda says got Nikon 650. Yeah, you got a Nikon 650. You know, it's really starting to set. It's quite low in the sky. You see the angle the camera's on, and yeah, it won't be long. Yeah. Hey, Monique says, hey, Charles and chat, it's 5:40 a.m. I'll be listening. I have an appointment today. So, of course, can't sleep. I have a Canon. I love it, especially for the moon. Yeah, Canon's pretty damn good, actually. You know, wherever I've been traveling, I've taken the Canon until I got a Samsung phone, and then I just took the phone. You know, it seems to be sufficient. But before that, with the older phones, oh my God, no photo quality at all. You know, yeah. There we go, 3-minute exposure. Wow, that's my best one yet. That's a really nice one. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. Yeah. I don't know how to make it bigger on this, but I'll show it to you. It looks like do you see that? The comet-like thing? There it is. That's the photo. And there's a Saturn next to it in there somewhere as well, which is also a comet-like streak. So that's the effect I was going for. So that's it. That's the effect. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I was doing it that way. Yeah. Right. So Montague says, "Cool." Amanda says, "Dude, it tricky as what the what's tricky as on the Nikon, eh?" Yeah. The problem, you know what? There's too many functions. They're too complicated these days, and what's the point, you know? Yeah. So Brody Love, too. What a nice name you have. Was what is the Star of Bethlehem that you're looking for, bro? It's Jupiter and Saturn together, basically. This has been used to measure time for thousands of years. For example, these come together every 20 years, which happens to be a human generation. And because it was a human generation, they thought, oh, maybe this can be used to measure when kings will arrive and so forth. And so it was used, 2,000 years ago for Jesus. And so whenever this happens, a king is deposed. And so Herod thought a king is just murdered or something. And so Herod thought, oh, damn, I better kill all the babies. So he's, that's where that legend comes from, because his astrologist warned him about this. This causes gravitational effects, I think, on the sun. It's strong enough to change the sun's orbit. The sun orbits in a circle. It elongates and increases the sun's orbit. It's moving in a tiny little circle. It's not stationary. It's being pulled by the planets like this. You see, it's being pulled, and it's being pulled more. In fact, outside its previous, it's pulled so much it moves outside of its diameter. When this happens, I did the calculations. This is enough to do that. So if it does that to the sun, imagine what it's doing to the sun. Imagine what the sun is doing to us. We don't have instruments to measure what the sun is doing to us. We're pretty backwards, So something is happening here. Throughout history, this is known as the worst thing in astrology, because this causes the upheaval of kingdoms. Kings change, revolutions happen. What has been happening, guys, for the past 10 years in the Arabic world? Revolution, 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 unheard of in history, just endless, all over the Arab world. And now in America, obviously. I don't want to get into American politics. I'm not talking about that. Dude, I didn't mention that. I didn't say anything. No, I didn't say it. Did I? Who? There was some other guy. I didn't say that. Right. So there you go. So yeah. So Brody says, the conjunction, and it's the closest one in 800 years. Brody says it goes about its barycenter. You're very tuned in. It does indeed. Barycenter. That's right. The center of whatever mass or whatever. Hype says, I would for real have a beer with you, Charles. You aren't stupid at all. Oh, thanks, Hype. Yeah, and Hope also says, I'm smoking one more cig with you amazing people, and it's bedtime for me in USA. Nice. Yeah. Amanda says, where are you? I'm in Melbourne. Not the Melbourne in Florida, the other one, the big one. So lest we forget says, like a pirate. Hey, you like some rum? I'm going to tell you a story. So Asahoya says that the sign in Virgo, her giving birth was even more. This is part of the story. Brody Love says all the planets are on the same side of the solar disk also. Zark says turmoil. Yes, this creates turmoil. And that's what's been happening. The sun, the sunspots have stopped. Revolutions have started occurring. What happens when the sunspots stop is the crops don't always ripen. There's not enough opportunity for them to ripen, for them to even grow. This causes epic famines, uncertainty. This is what caused the French Revolution, by the way. Yeah, really. A famine caused the French Revolution because they were deeply in debt after helping out the USA, and then boom, they have a massive famine, and then people say, look, but suddenly the monarchy doesn't seem as relevant as it used to seem. Let's get rid of them. Yeah, that Marie Antoinette. Oh my God, she's got food. Let's cut her head off and eat it. Oh, just kidding. But you know what I mean. Yeah. So Papa says, I'm hoping for good viewing weather. Erin makes an interesting statement. Oh my goodness. Verity says people are saying their pets are acting odd. Amanda says magnetic hell. And I see some different political views. I'm not getting involved in this, guys. Amanda says, yep, our food supply worldwide is gone. You're right. And it may be, apparently there's word that there is starting to be a food shortage in China, of all places. Can you believe it? Yeah. Montague says, I recently broke up with my flat earth beau. Interesting. Puppet says, bursting out my scope that I thought disappeared 30 years ago. I'm taking another photo. So, yeah. All right. Oh, where's it gone? It's gone somewhere. Come back, you. Oh, there you are. There you are. Get into perfect focus. Well, perfect little focus. Oh my goodness, that's so good. And then just simply do this and just wait. Yeah. So he watched me walk away for 3. He watched you walk away for 3 days. Did he turn into a salt pillar by any chance? Leon says flat over. Amanda says all crops couldn't get the season, so no crops weather induces. Amanda B says hell. Zark says USA can what's the word? Suck Canada into its state system. Interesting. Hey, I'm not talking about your politics. Team Australia says, "G'day, Dr. Charlie." Hello, hello, Team Australia. Crumpet Catcher says, "Hi from rainy Yorkshire in the UK. Just jumped on your live. Hello there, Crumpet Catcher. I'm photographing the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, and yeah, I'm just changing the focus and to make it look like 2 comets. It'll look very nice. I'll show it to you just as soon as it's done. Yeah." Riki says the sun has rapidly fired back up. Has it now? Maybe caused by that. He's like, who knows how this operates? No one knows this system. Much quicker than would be expected for the last solar cycle. Sol shooting off CMEs right and left. Hype says, dude, one day we might even be friends. Why not? Amanda B says, all wheat flour, grains, and sugar. Monica says, where's all the space junk? I never see it. I want to tell you something. We don't know how this works. 150 years ago, do you know what Kelvin was saying about the sun? He said the sun can only be caused. This is William Thomson, a great scientist. He became known as Lord of Kelvin. So he became known as Lord Kelvin. And he said, you know what he said? He said the sun can only be powered, must be either a hot body losing heat, in which case it's going to disappear soon, or it's powered. All its power comes from a vortex of comets and asteroids pouring into it. So he came up with this vortex theory, and he even later applied this to atoms, and he said atoms are vortexes. And what he said was just fascinating, because he actually said that based on his calculations, there's only enough comets and debris for the sun to have been powered for no more than 30 or several times 30,000 years. And it can only go on for another 300,000 years. Now that's only that's actually now 165 years ago he said that. So if in 165 years our viewpoint changes so much, what's our viewpoint going to be in another 165 years? Maybe they'll be finally believing in this stuff, that this actually does something to the planet. Yeah, what do you think of that? So yeah, yeah. Brody Love says I helped start that channel with Ben. Interesting. Apocalypse J says Electric Universe. Ricky Spence says who says we wants the Canucks? Zark says what I watch for space weather and electric catastrophe for blah 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 blah. Oh, that's a good one. I'll show you. Oops. Hi, come back. That's it. That's what I've been doing. Make it look like a comet. I don't know if you can see the other one. I don't see the other one on the screen, but there's 2 there. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so yeah. So yeah. Amanda B says the sun is our demise. Yeah. Interesting. Amanda says 1859 repeated. As for Hoyu says, it's all from beyond the sun. She flies into a debris field, more fuel, or it will cool her. Zark says love. Ricky says torrid. Amanda B says Carrington and Telegraph event. Amanda B says noted since 1700 from Britannia. John says Olbers paradox. What do you think? You know what? These things that they come up with, these Olbers and all this, like who really knows? Who really knows? So Olbers paradox is why isn't the skull white? You know why? Because maybe electrical fields which operate through the universe have actually absorbed that energy before it's gotten to us. If it's electric universe, I mean, what is your model of the universe to apply Olbers paradox anyway? You know what I mean? Is it really a paradox? If it's a paradox, maybe our theories are wrong. You know what I mean? Why isn't the sky white if all the light in the universe has had a chance to come towards us? Isn't that Olbers paradox? I don't know what it is, but maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah. So Amanda says noted since 1700 from Britannia. Montague says gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Montague says not too shabby. Mr. Philip Perot says, what's up, Charles? What's up, Mr. Philip? I'm just having some coffee out here. It's 9:55 p.m. Maybe I better start to tone my voice down a little bit, not talk too loudly. Yeah. Tam says electrical plasma field powering the sun and stars. Verity Walker says Aussie cops have been a bumper this year. Thanks, mate. Got to go to work. Aussie crops have been a bumper this year. Got to go to work. Catch the rest later. Love and peace to all. Cheers, Verity. Yeah. Yeah. Conan says, I'm watching the moon too from Brody. Yeah, the moon's up in the sky as well. It's quite huge, actually. Yeah. Randy says, has anyone else noticed a significant chunk of the seemingly most important questions we had about the universe have been answered and all the incredible advances in tech discovered this year? Really? Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know. Yeah. Ricky says, this is a cycle with your cycle as above, so below. Galactic radiation and current sheet affecting our whole system. Amanda says, could tech make it back down a few decades? Montague says, giant steps are what you take walking on the moon. Hope my leg don't break. Don't break walking on the moon. We could walk forever walking on the moon. We could live together walking on the moon. Zark says Squatterman Project. Amanda B says English, and then she follows that up with Dutch. Interesting. Montague says, good night, fellow Earthlings. Good night. Yeah, I guess it's very, very early. Very early. It's like 6 a.m. in America or something, right? Brody says night. Good night, Brody. She's saying it to Amanda. Okay. Hope says I'm of the greater UK as well. Yeah. Leon the Wise says love Aussie dames. Amanda B says I am also. It's thin as. Are you talking about the moon? I guess. Yeah. Simon Paul says interstellar object. That passed through the solar system was actually a very large German sausage meant to feed the hungry sun, but it missed. Oh my goodness, that's quite an interesting theory you've got there, Salmon. Very nice indeed. Amanda B says, and cloudy in Queensland, damn rain flooded Burleigh Lake and sharks in yards, man. Fond of the Dar says, what time is it there? Where? Here it's 9:57 p.m. Amanda B says it was full on. Asahoyu says lapis philosophorum, gravity is active movement. They don't understand the universe. Amanda B says sharks actually on the grass in people's yards. Whoa. Interesting. And she also says, oh man, animals are getting to land fast, Charlie. Damn it, sharks. Sounds like you really have a shark problem up there. Yeah. Leon says, doing any research traveling soon, Charles? Not really. I'm doing lots of research. Steve Hall says that carbon dating of the wood found in the Great Pyramid, though. Tam Australia says, love how you answer all chess questions honestly and don't put down other ideas or theories. Thanks, Champ. Oh, thank you so much, Tam. Well, why should I? I mean, who really knows what's going on? Are we God? We're just, you know what we are? We're animals. Yeah. So Alfred says, I mean, we may as well ask another animal, like a fox or something, what's going on, right? You know what I mean? They're going to have a theory. Why not? They will have a theory about what's going on too. So Alfred says, checking in all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. And you have that's a very nice, nicely named place as well. Thank you, Alfred. Mr. Philip Perot says, I'm going to hopefully get pics with my P900 tomorrow. Your randomness inspires me to get my camera out. Yeah, look, I had to do it tonight. It's not the 21st, but, oh, it's setting. I'll do one more photo. It's really low. Look, that's the angle. That's the angle there. I'm not, yeah. So it's really low. Yeah, I had to do it tonight because it's been cloudy. It's been cloudy every day. There's steam risen up on sunset into the atmosphere, and we couldn't see anything. And now suddenly, last time I saw it, it was like that, and now it's like that. It's about 0.4 degrees. I would estimate 0.4, less than a moon. It's 0.3 moon is half a degree. You could call this 0.3 degree. I can see the moon there, so it's 0.3 degrees separation between the planets. Just amazing. Ricky says academia wears muzzle and they are quite aware of what's happening. Yes, play stupid and say it's a mystery. Hype says we have other enemies together anyway. Amanda says in floods, hell yeah, but now we don't even think about it till I saw it. So we're talking about the sharks. Leon says grrr, grrr. Dank says Jesus is real, believe it or not. Tam Australia says, lol, land sharks. Amanda B says, bah. You weren't having me on, were you, Amanda? Leon says, have fun all. Have fun, mate. Dank says, Jesus rose from the dead. It's history. Amanda says, when they pop up with lasers, I'm gone, mate. Erin says, Jesus is king. Zark says, rose and died again. Erin says something about the president of the USA. Nank says, amen, king of kings. Zark says, reborn, reincarnated now. Yeah. Erin says a certain number of Trump supporters are watching. But I have to tell you, it is true. It's not always the case, but I would say maybe 3/4 of people who are seriously into ancient mysteries do tend to be on that side of the political spectrum. But surprisingly, there's also a lot who aren't. There's heaps who aren't. So I'm not saying anything anyway. I'm in the middle. I'm sitting on a barbed wire fence. All right, guys? Right. So Crumpet Catcher says, do you think the Aboriginal story you covered will come true on the 21st? It's been a wacky year. I'm going to take one more photo. Yeah, so just have to find it. Come back. Oh, where are you? You gone? There it is. Oh, it's just above the tree line. Oh my goodness. It's just above the trees. It's soon about to set. Just focus it. Yeah. I'll show you again when it's done. Yeah. King of Kings says, yo. Right. Wayne's World Coins Australia says 21st. Well, yeah, but you know how cloudy it's been here? I can't do it on the 21st. I've got to do it now. And the moon's half a degree wide. So what I'm looking at is 0.3, is about 0.3 degrees apart, Just incredible, yeah. Lapis Fosorum says conservative greetings, but you're from Germany. Amanda says, yes, Tam. Rowan says, raining in Blue Mountains. Wayne's World says, I hope it does come true on the 21st. All just then, good vibes. Yeah. Hype says, let's randomly oppose the UK. Not reading that out. Rowan says, seen then yesterday. Waterpass says, Bible basic instructio before leaving Earth. Interesting, mate, interesting. And Dank says he just supports Jesus is Lord. Isn't that nice? Hugo Star says, fellow face sitter here. Lol, not very comfortable, is it? What are you talking about? What exactly are you talking about there? Yeah. So Amanda B says, Bwahaha. So Amanda B has been telling us all about sharks on the lawns. I presume what is in Queensland. The sharks have been so prolific, they've been going onto people's lawns. I'm forgetting to turn that, but I'll show you when it's done. Food of the Dar says, my dog just woke up, walked over, and peed on my pillow. Weird animal behavior is real. I mean, the moon is in alignment with that, almost with that as well. The moon's what? Let's see, what, 20 degrees off that? I mean, there we go. Okay, I'll show it to you. So, oh, why does it do that? No, we'll go inside. No. There we go. I don't know how that one's turned out. What's happened there? Maybe it looks a bit skewed. I'm not sure what's happening. But I'm trying to make it like a comet by defocusing it. But I'll show you the best one later on. So yeah, we may as well go inside. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Right. So in video. So guys. Yeah. So. Yeah. Right. So Amanda says, Australia, mate. Asahoyu says, lol, a German hock nose. Interesting. What are you talking about? Yeah, so Dank says, if you haven't looked for Jesus, please just say with a sincere heart, Jesus, I want you now. Zark says, when I asked, I got a flaming cross. I says, I have a region named after my family in the UK. Ricky says, Sharknado. That's a movie, isn't it? That sounds like a movie, Sharknado. Oh, there's a Sharknado. You mean there's a Sharknado of sharks popping up onto your beach in Queensland, and they yeah. I mean, but hang on, that's Ricky. You're saying that you're an American, okay? So Eddie says, hello from Ireland, Charles. Hello, Eddie. How you doing? I've just been taking some photos outside. Zark says, bam, Australia. Amanda says, lol, punch him. Monkey says, hey, Charlie. Amanda B says, in the nose, punch the sharks in the nose. You know what? That's the best advice ever. Just punch those sharks in the damn nose. And it's sort of 10 o'clock outside, so I've sort of come in here. I don't want to annoy the neighbours too much, you know, just a little bit. So Trevor says, my cat was gone for 30 whole hours in the cold desert winter. Amanda B says, yeah. Tam Australia says, what's the Aboriginal story about 21st December? I don't know. Trevor says, it wasn't that bad. He clearly had fun. Trevor says, he's been strange is what I'm saying the cat is. So you're saying your cat's been behaving strange because of that alignment, because it's peed on your pillow. Very interesting. Amanda says, come on, Charlie. Come on. Asahoyu says, Cramson, Bamson, lol, stuff and buff. So Asahoyu is a German, so he says interesting things. Crumpet Catcher says has a video for Amanda B. Ricky says we got gators in our lawns during cyclone, dolphin defense. Amanda B says, lol, oh man, really? Papa Bike says, Charles, hey look, it's the Great Conjunction. Yes, indeed it is, but it is right directly above the tree line at the moment. So it's an interesting. You know, I'll do one more photo. I'll do a photo with it. Basically, I'll have to switch on that light. I'll do a photo with it as above the tree line and keeping it in focus. That's what I'll do. Okay, so yeah. So I'll just spread the legs a bit so I'm shorter and grumpier. And then I'm going to have a look to find it. Let's see. It's getting. What do I do? Where is it? Hang on. Come back here. There it is. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I'm just going to hold it. For 2 minutes or so. I'll let just the streaks show, it'll just be 2 streaks, that should be fun. So Puppet Bike says, Jesus, hold my beer. Zark says, ice and snow and stupid -40 degree cold seems kind of nice right now. Sharks and gators in Aussie, Australia, oh my. Look, to be honest, Zark, Amanda might be using a tiny bit of artistic embellishment in her descriptions of the sharks popping up on people's lawns. But, you never know. Maybe it's real. But Mr. Kim Smith says, have heard Adam, Seth, and Enoch invented the Zodiac. Hope says, I never get tired of a Charles stream. Nice. Zark says, toss in a spider too. Yeah, we got spiders here. Yeah. Darkest Gooner says, oh, it's good, Charles. Hello, Darkest Gooner. Crumpet Catcher says, Charles, the one with Steve and Evan Strong. Muddy May says, is it now? Amanda B says, how funny are you? Can't read everyone's out, sounds so weird. Oh my God, love it, but Muddy May says, thought it was 21st. It is, but how do I know it's not going to be cloudy on the 21st? I have to do it now. It's been cloudy for the past week. Magic Magnets Cumbria says, Chucky the photographer, good man. Amanda B says, Mars is huge and red, lower and lower I reckon it's getting. Yeah, you're right. It's getting in conjunction with us as well. It's in conjunction, but it's somewhere else other than there. And I'm watching a tiny spider now on the rose. Yeah. Anyway, Amanda says, I will show you the videos. You got the evidence. You will show us the videos. Yeah. Okay. Asahoya says, what the heck? World Truthers Foundation. Amanda B says, back fences sharks. So Amanda B has been telling us that sharks are on the lawns, wherever you are in Queensland, because, it's actually kind of deadly place. Oh, it's going to have a streak of a plane moving across as well, maybe. Yeah, I hope that's in. I don't think they'll be in the view, though. Monkey Science says, how did the hammerhead shark do on his test? He nailed it. Johnny James says, what's going on here? What is going on here? I'm taking photographs. Ricky says everything in Australia is bloody venomous. Zark says, aha, spider. Amanda B says, yeah. Amanda B says, where the hell are you then? War. SA. Oh, you're in SA. Tassie. No, I'm in Melbourne. Hype says, oh, it's 5:09 here. Good night. Happy Yule. Merry Christmas. If I don't see... the neighbour was putting the blind down slowly to have a look at me, but it's down now. He doesn't usually put the blinds down. I wonder why he did that. But I won't make too much noise. He don't want to be looked at. Maybe they're going to do something up there. Maybe I'll get the binoculars out. So Hype says it's 5:09. Okay. Amanda B says, Tassie, Fond of the Dust says, I can't find anyone else doing this tonight on the other screen while watching here. Good call about possible clouds 21st. We have thick snow clouds. Oh. Johnny says, which star? I'm in Mel 2. What are you looking at? Okay, mate, go outside now and you will see setting right now is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. You might not see it for a few days because it's been cloudy as hell here, as you know. So Amanda B says, Gough Island, lol. Where's Gough Island? Yeah. I don't even know if it's still there or not. I'll stop it. I'll show it to you. So it's 2 streaks. I'll show you in a second. Oh. That's the image. You see the streak? Do you see it? But the photograph when I show it to you will be way better. It'll be a ton better, 100 times better. So yeah. Yeah. Oops. Right. Yeah. Hey, so yeah. Right, so Mr. Kim Smith asserts that the Sphinx was a perversion of the original zodiac made by Adam. Sphinx represented the head of the Virgin, Virgo, Mary, and tail of the Lion of Judah. Interesting. Muddy May says, where do we look? Just look, you know what? Look over there. There. So Amanda B says, under South Australia and towards Antarctica, lol. Yes, that's where I am. Hype has retracted his venomous message. Muddy May says, Amanda B, so here in Adelaide would be great. Yeah, I hope it's great. Look, I think it's now it's behind the trees unless I do that. It's behind the tree, so it's setting. Apocalypse Day says, "Love the streak, Charles." Oh, yeah, the little streak on the camera. I'll put up all the good photos onto the. You check out the community tab tomorrow or tonight after this, and I'll just put them all up, and you can see what I've been taking, and you'll have a look. What I've been messing around with, trying to take interesting photos of the conjunction. Because if you just take a snap, what do you see? It's 2 stars. So you want to do a streak or an expanding streak by defocusing, make it look like a comet, and then by holding it down, you get a lot of light. You can see what the color of the planets are as well. It's a lot of fun to do that. Amanda B says, "Not happy, man." And she says, "I need to get our hour of Queensland. Seems Sydney and Xmas is off the cards." Because now Sydney has more of the cases of this virus suddenly. Like they've been very lucky to escape it, but now they've got it. And So Johnny says, "Oh, thanks. I bought a telescope and seen them both already. I could see Jupiter and moons, but Sat was the best with the rings. They are moving further away now." Amanda B says, "Not happy, man." Mr. Ken Smith says, "Look over there, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain." Hype says, "It wasn't venomous. I just typed wrong." Yeah, of course. I was just having a little go at you there. Johnny says, "DL apps, star maps to find what all the stars, planets are easily." Amanda B says, "A lot there." Amanda B also says, "Queen loves South Australia and the governor for South Australia is good friends with the Queen. Weird to watch." Zark says, "I'm going to assume venomous." Dirk says, "I hear there's a PS5 buried beneath the front paw of the Sphinx." Interesting. Question stuff says, "Hey, Cozzy." Hey, questions. Hey, Q, question stuff. Atheist Dingo says, "What's your AFL team?" Hawthorn, actually. Hawthorn, because they won, was it the 89 grand final or something? And I was quite little, and I thought, oh, yeah, Hawthorn, okay. Puppet Bike says 5 a.m. 27 Fahrenheit. Hype says, "Lol." Oh, shut up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, guys, look. Seriously, in 800 years, it's never been as close as it's going to be on the 21st. So check it out now, because you don't know. Look, it's only 4 days away. You don't know if it's not going to be cloudy for the next week, and if it is, you're going to miss it. So check it out when you can now, and it'll be gone before you know it. So I mean, then you can tell people in future. I saw the once in an 800 year, and it was so close together. Currently, it's 0.3 of a degrees apart, and it's so close. It's amazing. Yeah. Puppet Bike says, "Time to get moving in Chicago." Later, Chaz. Cheers, Puppet Bike. Yeah, have a nice day. Have a great day. Asahoyu says, "Still waiting for my PS5. Woohoo! You ordered the PS5. Interesting." Johnny James says, "If you download star maps, you can point your phone to the sky and all the stars, planets will be labeled." King Leopold, nice provocative name there, says, "Over in Texas, loving the live show." Thank you, King Leopold. Atheist Dingo says, "Raining in Newcastle for the next 4 days. I'll have to wait 800 years. Oh no, but it's okay, because even it's still there. I mean, it's not going away just yet. So you'll see it. You'll see it. But you won't see it on the 21st, I guess. Maybe you will. And just have a look out anyway. Even if it's cloudy, you might see it pop out through the clouds. You never know. You just have to be there and wait, as an astronomer. An astronomer has to be so patient when there's clouds. Just sit there and wait, and then you'll see something maybe. Yeah. So Muddy May says, "Just looked. It's right out my back door." That's awesome. And do you see the moon as well nearby? It's not, the moon's not too far off it. I mean, it's in the same direction. So the moon is lined up with it as well. So the moon will kind of be in alignment with it as well, kind of. You could really seriously call that angle. That's the angle between the moon and where then Jupiter, Saturn. What is that? That's what, 30? Is that 30 degrees or something like that? That's 45. So they're about 30 degrees apart. That's almost, you could call that the moon is in opposition with the moon is in. You could say the moon is in conjunction with the conjunction. And earlier this year, we've had several conjunctions already. It's been a year full of conjunctions, and that kind of explains, using the ancient technique, why everything's been so messed up today. Yeah, this year, I mean. Yeah. So Muddy says, yes, close. Zark says, I'm off to watch Bafuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max my defense. Questions stuff says, it's still light in Perth. Nice. It's been dark here for an hour or two. Muddy May says 9 o'clock. Hype says maybe 33 degrees. 33 degrees apart. Isn't it interesting? Apocalypse J says astronomers are patient and cold. You are so right, Apocalypse J. Yes, if you want to be an astronomer, you know what? You got to be patient and you got to rug up, and that's why I have that, and I'll do some more later after I log off. I might photograph some stars or something, or, yeah. Aaron says, do you know that the Earth is flat and motionless, proven by science? Interesting. Ricky says, I think Chuck needs to be handled carefully. I hear he bites. Amanda B says, Mum lived 33 degrees in Sydney suburb of Ryde on the Field of Mars parish lands. True story. Field of Mars, only 3 worldwide. St. Petersburg, France, and Sydney. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting indeed. Oh. Yeah. Keith says, I'm so surprised more people aren't doing this on YouTube. Thank you. It's snowing where I am, 25 minutes south of Washington, D.C. Well, it's a bit of a hassle. You set up the camera, then you got to set up the laptop, make sure there's enough lighting, which wasn't really the case, but just do it. If it's not perfect, do it anyway. It doesn't matter. And, why not? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, why not? Yeah. And they don't know how to do it, like how would you, because you can't really show it in the sky with a camera which is on this laptop, you can't really show that, can you? Yeah. So Yar Bloco says, thoughts on the Paracus, Charles? Are they gods that enlightened us? So did you ask about earlier, you said, someone said look into the Paracus. I don't know anything about the Paracus, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know, but Brian Forster, he uses that word an awful lot. So Scratch says, tongue out. Amanda P says, warlords. Amanda B says, Andy says, lol, did we just get a flat earther in here for a live stream of stars aligning in the friggin' sky? Indeed, because if that guy zooms into those, he's going to see that they're round, Amanda B says, oh man, snow I want so bad. Hype says, I used to listen to an FBI agent that was kind of alternative like you. Amanda says, me and a toboggan. Amanda wants to go on a toboggan in the snow. Amanda, you can't. You're stuck up there in the north, and it's going to be a hot summer. What are you going to do? Yeah. So Brendan says, paint trains, have fun. Amanda, is that what you're going to do today? Amanda says, happy Broken Bones days, mates. Oh, dear. Be careful of that toboggan event, Amanda, please. Eddie says, Monday will be a great day for focusing your spiritual attentions, meditating and praying if that's your thing. As a Hoyo Lapis Philosophorum says, how far is the Nubs Dots Kipu research, mate? Jaguar. You know what I think it is? I'll tell you what's happening with the Nubs. So, our musical? Our music? It looks like a couple strings, and then there's strings hanging down with knots on them. Our music is a kipu. Yeah. And that's where it comes from. It's a kipu, and it would have been done in a kipu. They would have worn the music maybe on a belt or on a brooch. They could have worn this as an ornament. They could have worn the music. And if the music is on, that's what the musical symbols are. They seem to be, to me, to be a kipu, but they also look kind of like the wedges, the Sumerian wedges as well. But if it's a kipu, which it seems to be, because the ancient Irish alphabet seems to be a kipu, it seems to, and it looks like music. So I thought, okay, you look at the Inca stones, and they do this. They move to the right, they move to the left. You start with a nub, that's the staff. You move to the right, move to the left, they're the knots, and occasionally there'll be nubs on the way as you go down. So imagine a string hanging down, and it's got right-handed and left-handed knots, and that's how I reckon you would read an Inca wall, as music. And why would you read an Inca wall as music? Why? Because the Druids or whomever, if they have an oral tradition, how do you learn that oral tradition? You would have to learn a lot of rhymes and songs, because that would help you to learn. That's how you learn things. You learn it by rhymes and songs. So the knowledge is a musical knowledge as well. And that might be why music was taught in medieval universities as part of the system of the universe. Why would they teach that music in the quadrivium is the system of the universe? Why would they do that? You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah. So Amanda says, not so important. Ricky says, my driveway is an ice rink at the moment. Amanda says, damn it, beach it is then. Scratch says, even carved into the walls of Egypt. Scratch says, mosaics equals cymatics equals frequency. I'll just get the coffee. You know what? I'll just get the coffee from outside. Yeah, where was we? Yeah. So, Scratch says, even carved into the walls of Egypt. Amanda says, not so important. Precious Metal says, I love your pyramid videos. Can't wait until you make more. Thanks so much, Precious Metals. You're very nice indeed. Amanda says, music is key to all. I need a wine. Yep. Andy says, I need a whiskey. Sounds like a pub. Andy says, Keith says, I need a vodka. Just kidding. Keith actually says, my belief is that our solar system is like, he says, I need a martini. No, he says, our belief is that our solar system is like a gigantic precision watch. Example, how the moon is exactly the right size and distance for the sun for a precise eclipse. Yeah, they're almost like two cogs. They might have seen it that way in ancient times, actually, like a machine. And so the parts need to be the same size to fit together, you know. But it's so hard. Like, we humans have so much trouble getting our minds around how this could work and operate and why the coincidence is apparent there, you know. Ricky Spence says, I'm a knothead. Asahoyu says, they not a picture with Kipu letters. Just none sure for the order, I guess. Music could be another layer. It shows sound too. I mean, why was music taught in medieval universities? It must be the medieval universities come from the Celtic universities where they had to learn music to learn the oral knowledge, you know, because they treated music so seriously in the medieval period. You know, it was an object of learning. Old Blighty. Hello, Old Blighty. And you are in Old Blighty because you say hello from Cumbria, England. Hello. So question stuff says, did you catch Jimmy? Right inside, he's just got back from Egypt. I had another live stream on earlier today when he had his live stream on, and coincidentally, we both went for just exactly 3 hours, which is a strange coincidence. But what happened was he posted something on Insta, and he said, I've discovered a piece of 2,000-year-old, many thousand-year-old pottery. And I sent him a message. I told him, Jimmy, get rid of that. Don't take it through the airport. They'll arrest you and keep you in prison forever, you know. And he said, oh, don't worry, I know about this. And I just left it where it was, you know, because he's such a good guy. Yeah. So Scratch says they showed the frequency by showing a cymatic geometric image. Find the pattern, you'll find the frequency. Amanda says, yes, the Mississippi. Where does it go? Yes, Miss. Oh, I'm behind. Andy says everything is awesome. Amanda B says first big word I learned, song came with that. Scratch says go Charlie boy, lol. Amanda says lol, itchy knee. Hype says I believe in parallel evolution and things like that. Andy says anyone else catch? Okay, we're going to move on from that comment. Scratch says hello, Miss Manda. Atheist Dingo says, watch out, everyone. That flask is full of rum. Amanda B said, no, it's just coffee. I'm not drinking anymore, but I reckon that's why I got a bit fat, because I was. Ricky says, scratch. Asahoyu says, I have rum in my coffee, lol, a home office worker. Amanda B says, my bro. Scratch says, Miss Ricky, mwah. Amanda B says, yes, champion chat time. Scratch says, I hope you, and they're talking to each other. Okay, well, okay, they're having private time. So don't need to read that out. So Hype says, rise and fall of empires. Q question stuff says, the old grog in the flask trick. Amanda B says, flooded yesterday. Flooded here too. I was driving through the rain to put the car in a garage at Mum's place because I don't have one. and windscreen wipers on max. And it was, and I was heading towards where the storm was coming, and they said there were golf ball sized hailstones, so I had to do that. And it was flooded. Yeah, it was like in the Twister movie. No, not as bad as that. Yeah. Amanda says, all good except now can't go to Mum's for Christmas, not happy, mate. And that's because she can't get to Sydney because now they have the virus. The virus caused by that thing in the sky, the conjunction. Maybe, I don't know. But seriously, I think what's happened is I reckon the labs are always releasing these viruses by accident because they're so tiny. How can they not? And then what's happening is the sun, because it's lost its sunspots, cannot disinfect the virus off the surface of the Earth. The ray cannot zap the virus, so it spreads, and that's why viruses and plagues happen in these times when the stars line up, and people say, "Oh, it's the stars doing it," but they're affecting the sun, which is therefore affecting us, and that's how it works. So isn't that a scientific link between that? And isn't that scientific? Why not? Yeah, Hope says, no matter what, Charles, he's not a person with that knowledge. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ricky says, we're having a moment, Chuckle. Okay, well, I'll just go over here, what? Okay. Thomas says, good morning and good tidings from Canada. Scratch says, Royal Raymond Rife. So what Royal Rife did, he made microscopes in the 20s. Beautiful pieces of precision engineering. He seems to have loved engineering. And all he did was he magnified and magnified and magnified endless lenses. And people these days are saying he magnified so much, he magnified beyond what he's allowed to see. So what's he looking at? But then again, how do they really know? How do they know? How do they really know? Maybe he was onto something there, They say you need an electron microscope to do what he did visually because they reckon the visual wave is less than the thing. But have they really even seen a visual wave? Like, how do they really know? Adam Bomb says, oi, mate, oi. Scratch says, you're very welcome, Andy. Johnny Jones says, just had a look. They are about to go down. So you're in Melbourne, and you're right. They were on the horizon. I was taking, for those who have just tuned in, I was taking photos earlier. I showed the photos, but I'll show them again on the YouTube community tab so everyone can have a look later on when I'm off this, and you can see what I've been doing. Yeah. Johnny James says, had a look. They're about to go down under the horizon in an hour or so. I bought a telescope when they were at their closest and sold it last week because you can only look so many times. It's true. I got a telescope too, and I used to use it all the time, but you can only use it so many times. But I'll tell you what a telescope is good for when Mars comes close, as it actually is now. And maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but you can late in the season when it starts to recede again, see canals appear, and it actually changes color a little bit, and you can see the ice caps. And I used to do that quite a lot. Yeah. Hope says, I'm going to bed 3 cigs ago, and I'm sleeping for real now. Happy holidays to you all. Cheers, Hope. Ricky Spence says, we're having a moment. Okay, you have your moment. Okay, you have your moment there. Johnny James says, what do you think? I've been talking for 4 hours today. What do you think Jupiter and Saturn will look like when they're exactly lined up? I don't know. They'll just get a bit closer. I imagine they'll be half as close as they are now. I don't know, or even closer. Maybe 0.1 degree apart. They're 0.3 degrees apart now. Dirk says, would love to hear your latest theories on the Sphinx. You've been quiet on that subject lately. Fascinating number theory, by the way. Loving it. Thank you so much, Dirk. And I think it's real. I think it's a good, solid theory. I don't know, mate. These YouTubers, Ancient Architects, The Uncharted, and etc. with the Sphinx. I'm less interested in that, so I've got a small channel because no one wants to hear about Stonehenge or the Star of Bethlehem, and they want to hear about the Sphinx. And how am I supposed to keep talking about the same thing over and over again? I don't know. Mate, it's a piece of rock to me. I don't care about the Sphinx, you know what I mean? Yeah. Conan says, Adam, flat in Australia too. But I did make the video before showing the old photos. There's a door halfway down the Sphinx, which they've covered up, which is interesting, And I show lots of old articles, but I've sort of exhausted that source. There's really nothing more to say, really. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could get a circular saw, cut it in half. We can see the cross section. That'd be nice. Yeah. And Mr. Kim Smith says, before the prophets used the alphabet, they used stars to tell of the coming sun. You are so true. The experts told the kings about this, and the king said, better kill every baby then. And the experts said, we have a moral dilemma. Should we tell the king about the conjunction, or should we hold our tongue? And it seems what happened was they thought, well, it is better that the king knows, and in his wisdom he must act, for it is not our place to judge what should be done. And then he kills all the babies. Interesting. Okay. How would you like to be an astrologer in ancient Israel, telling the king that about what would happen when that comes together, and kings of the world are overthrown when that happens, as has been happening for the past 10 years, which are possibly caused by that over the past 10 years in the Arab world. Conan says it's all a lie. Scratch says he used resonance to destroy cells. He was a genius, an absolute genius, Royal Rife. Amanda B says, oh, who go down, they say, in $3,000 quarantine from midnight to night. Full camo, here I come, mate. Here I come, mate. So Amanda B is determined to go to Sydney to see her family from presumably Queensland. Earlier she's been saying there's sharks on the lawn, in people's backyards, up against the fences, because they've been presumably washed in by a tsunami. Or is that all artistic license that you're giving us some of that? Anyway. So you're determined to go to Sydney, even though they're getting the virus again. They seem to have an outbreak, so they will have to have a lockdown, because this is what happened in Melbourne. They have 19 cases suddenly in Sydney. In Melbourne, they had suddenly 17 cases. They left it. A week later, 2 weeks later, 700 cases. So they will lock it down. They will, because that's the Australian policy. They will. And they should do it sooner rather than later. They're a bit scared to, because they haven't really done that yet, but they will have to. Because it happened here like that. I mean, even the summer doesn't seem to be really keeping it away. If they're having that, there must be a lot more cases. Asahuyu says they had diamond lenses in the past, microscopic. Scratch says by combining frequencies, allegedly. Adam Bomb says, oh yeah, I'd love to see Australia. Amanda B says, you'll need a boat. Hype B says, Hype 2 says, oh, please post pics. I'll post them later. I'll post them. You'll see them on the YouTube community tab of my channel. I'll post the pictures I took just before we announced setting. It's on the horizon. Yeah. So Amanda B is saying such funny comments. Yeah, interesting. Scratch says, I grew up with Stonehenge. I don't need to talk about that. And he says, Avebury's better. Yeah. Andy says, Charles, yeah. Oh, they're having their private moments up there in the comments. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, Bloco says, hey, Charles, what's the music written on the walls through knobs, the instructions for sonic levitation, monks? I don't know, because who knows what, like, if you want to decipher an ancient language, you need the key to decipher it, and then you need the language itself. Who knows what the language was? But I presume it's older than the European Dark Ages. You know, it's even older than that. So who knows? Maybe it's ancient Phoenicians who built those walls, and then they became the Freemasons, because I reckon the Freemasons must have had the knowledge of the worldwide empire, because they're that's how you can tell the Masons mark. The blocks built the same way all the way around the world, the polygonal blocks. And then they spread that around the world, and then they became a secret society. And then they were resurrected in Scotland as the Masons. And then they claim this antiquity going back to the Stone Ages. And they're controlling the world because the kings need them to build those walls, to build fortifications, so they're on top. I mean, why the hell else? Stonemasons on top, unless they have something the kings need. What do you reckon? Amanda says, can't blame the phone, matey. Come to the mother country's cousin anyway. Andy says, fascinating and entirely plausible, would help to explain the importance of sound in ancient times, why certain chambers have incredible harmonic precision. Yeah, they learned music. The Druids learned music. That is why it's so important in the medieval system. Rune says, how old are you? I'm 39. Amanda, yeah. Amanda says, not what is there now, that's for sure. Scratch says, look at the Herodotus map of 430 BC. Shows Atlantis, West Africa. Sean says, Victoria closes borders midnight tonight. Okay, so we're closing borders with you guys, I guess. With New South Wales, unfortunately. What a shame. Like, that's ridiculous what's happening with the virus. Oh my God. There we go again. Amanda B says, sad eye. Hope, you're still here, mate. You say 4 cigarettes now. You've had 4. Going to bed for real, but I know the secret of pyramids. Guys, very ancient. It is indeed very ancient. Ricky Spence says they're using a virus as an excuse to keep control and get people used to shortages, in my opinion. Maybe, yeah. So Amanda says Cathar. Amanda says cathedrals are sound healing. I reckon the church took over. Scratch says, I believe either the ley lines are energized by the ancient sites all over the globe or vice versa. I've seen an energy at local ancient site only visible near infrared at 940 nanometers. You are a genius, Scratch. I love you. That's amazing. Andy says, totally agree about the Freemasons. Yeah, I mean, what else? Why call themselves Masons? You look up Masonry in old books. These are just humble workmen. There were medieval guilds of Masons, and they had guild halls in which they had feasts and banquets and their own kind of nobility, and they looked after their members with pensions after they retired. That's what a guild did. That's where the pensions came from. But that doesn't. They weren't not ruling anything. They were just a guild. So why Freemasons? They go all the way back to the Phoenicians. We go to Phoenicia. We see Baalbek. Oh, bingo. It's starting to make sense. You see what I mean? What they could do. They were magicians. And the magicians were the priest kings. Alchemists. Hype says, not all Masons are bad. That's a provocative statement there, Hype. But I'm sure it's true. They're not all bad. There are a lot of social climbers, though. I met some Masons at a masonry hall once because they were having an open day. And I went in there, and they have a sort of sneakiness about them, and they showed us the hall, and then the command came that they had to take us out of the hall again. So he said, "Okay, we're wrapping up out of here, you know." But they have a sort of sneaky, social climbery, snaky vibe about them, I've noticed. But obviously not all of them. Some of them obviously very good people. And a lot of corporate psychopaths, unfortunately, also become Masons. The company boards, they're all Masons, and the judges, they're all in the same club, so they're all letting each other go. Like, oh, I know that guy, so I'm letting him go. You know, he's not guilty anymore because he's a Mason. The Masons have to help each other, or they're out of the Masonry club. So what do? You have a moral dilemma. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, so Yarbloko says if the pyramids were built when the place was a jungle, they'd be even more impressive since they'd sit in perfect platform with who knows what underneath them. Amanda B says, none the wiser when enter. Scratch says, I once worked in a cathedral for 8 months. I'm sure I've told you before. Oh. Ricky says, atheist. Zahi hides his collection of looted artifacts in those tunnels. Bah, wink. Amanda says, communities. Scratch says Salisbury Cathedral. Yeah. Oh, Apocalypse J says, have to go now. See you next time. See you, Apocalypse J. Yeah. Jimmy says, I've been racking your brain trying to find your video where you went to Greenland or Ireland. You made a video of a trip through the museum. Yes, I did. The problem is it's hard to even search for my videos. My subscriber number has dropped by 800 in the past 2 years. I'm not growing because they're suppressing me. And it's obvious they're suppressing me. You look up Charles Cole Serpent Mound, try and find the video where I was at it finds one video, but it doesn't find the video where I was at the Serpent Mound. Even though Serpent Mound is in the title, it brings up other channels. And it's not a search engine anymore. It was a search engine 2 years ago. Now, it's like cable TV. It's a garbage engine, unfortunately. YouTube's turned into garbage. Yeah, it really has. I love it, but it's garbage compared to how it was. So it's going to be hard to find my channel. Just look through the uploads, and it'll be under 20, maybe 2016 or 2017 or 2018 in one of those years. So Monkey Spence says, I'd love to live in a mountain. Really, would you now? Yeah. So Jimmy Wayne Dane says, do you recall that video, what country it was? Amanda says most men in early 1900, if had business education, entered the Masonic Lodge. Right. Tot, hey Tot, he says, Chucky, what's up, friend? Hey, mate. Yeah. So Dirk thought I was older than 39 due to the erosion pattern. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah. Amanda says, lol, I posted a pic of Rude Masonic Hall. When I lose weight, I'll look younger. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Johnny says, my grandfather was a Mason who died in the 60s. My grandmother's old age was paid for them till she died. Yeah. Right. Interesting. Ricky says, they knew the secrets of sacred geometry. My father was a 33rd, and yes, they cover each other's butts. Amanda B says, they do. Itchy Pop was Piano Whiz. Interesting. Charles, can you explain the Great Pyramid in interferometry? Yeah, basically, look, it's a light. It's for light tunnels. Look what's happening. Look what's happening, guys. Newgrange, the light goes in. The pyramid, the light must have gone in or reflected inside, goes up the tunnels. It's for light. It's for bending light. Why are the shafts equal lengths? It's for light. You see what I mean? So if it's a very big object for light, maybe it's for measuring the deviation of light, you know what I mean? And therefore interferometry of two light beams. Yeah. Hi, Charles. Do you know SGD flooded the channel? He doesn't like me very much. He doesn't like me very much at all. He says he stopped watching my channel because I said, why would they use cubits? Were they walking on their hands and knees? You know, oh, there's 1 cubit long. You know what I mean? That's a cubit, right? And he stopped watching me because of that reason. Yeah. So Adam Bomb says, what is K19, the sub or the pyramid dock? Sure. Okay. Andy says, I think the core of Masons know a great truth, a lost knowledge they came across as bad to some, but they have a long-term plan for the greater good. Scratch says it's why they're so tight. Ricky says they knew the secrets of sacred geometry. My father was the 33rd, and yes, they cover each other's butts. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, nearly out of the coffee. Right. Okay. So Amanda says teamwork. And she also says sound and light boom, full body heal. Don't know, be awesome to see the bottom in water. Scratch says limestone conducts electromagnetic energy. Asahoyu says Freemasons take over buildings after the resets Freemasonry. Yeah. Count Eric Hebelin says almost out of coffee. No. Ricky says so much information and code in pyramids such as the circumference of the earth, the speed of light, etc. You're so correct about that. So correct. Yeah. Yeah. Andy says I'm subscribed to you on 2 accounts, Charles. Don't worry, your voice needs to be heard. Thank you so much, Andy. Yeah, so nice. Yeah. Andy also says there's a Mason Hall here in London. I went down before Corona to check it out. Some women was outside arguing with them, saying, "Are you going to kill me?" Wow, interesting indeed. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds okay. Scratch says Ben at Uncharted X did a video on it with a thing that looked like the jet pillar. Psychoticus 7 says, "Oh my god, I finally caught you live! Yay!" Yeah, I've been taking photos of the conjunction, which is now set for me. It's 10:48 p.m. and I'll show you those on the community tab later. I'll show you the photos. I can't wait to see them myself. You know, in big picture mode. Yeah, and he says, "Love from Sydney. Thanks so much." Jerry says, "Charles, monatomic gold. When Petrie opened up the site, he found pieces of white powder and evidence of red mercury alchemy." Dominic says, "Good on ya. Think you should do a hangout with ancient architects on Uncharted X. That'd be a nice thing to do." Atheist Dingo says the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel run in how many parsecs? Mr. Kim Smith says Tyre was the capital of Phoenicia. Tyre was also a Viking god, both known for purple dye. Adam Baum says, yeah, what is that? Johnny James says, anyone interested in sacred geometry should look up Randall Carlson. He has an interview with JRE with Graham Hancock, and it was very informative. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm going to try and do these live streams more often just to talk to you guys and, you know, pump out a few more videos and you know, to catch everyone, because lots of people say, oh, I missed you, you know, and I've been doing them once every 2 weeks or so. I should do them every few days. And I did one earlier today, actually, for 3 hours. Yeah. Excuse-moi. So Andy Buckland says, the K19 doc is very interesting, raises some intriguing ideas, geopolymer building blocks and huge glass lenses, both in plausible ways. Dominic says 12 parsecs. Morton says, monatomic. Yeah. Adam says, thanks for the live streams, it's great. Andy Buckland says, Johnny, I don't think anyone on the stream doesn't know who Randall Carlson is. Lol. Conan68 says 12, and so does Gerald Vagster. What's 12? 12 parsecs. Interesting. Scratch says, I think the pyramid was built for many purposes. Communication to the stars, power generation, healing. Then you have to think about all the knowledge built into it too. Okay, yeah, interesting. So yeah, so for those who tune in, what I did today was I looked at the Great Conjunction. It is a great conjunction, and I took photos, which I'll show you later. And the reason for this live stream, where I was sitting outside doing it, is because this happened 800 years ago. It's happening today. We've seen revolutions around the world for the past 10 years and civil wars happening. Civil wars are always happening, but we've had like a domino effect of revolutions in the last 10 years. This happens every so often. It happened in the 1830s. It happened at the end of World War II. It happened just before World War II, actually, as well. But it doesn't happen that often. Is it being caused by the Great Conjunction? Maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Scratch says, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. Anrad says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Charles. Hope you have a good one. Yeah. Andy says, yanking my chain. Johnny says, when Beetlejuice explodes, it's going to be awesome. Hope it happens in our lifetime. I hope it will be. I hope it will be okay. They say it mutated us, and someone says it mutated us and caused the blood group changes. That's what it was. Yeah. Ruhiya says, and when you consider the electric universe and implications, you can see how their effects could truly be significant. Jerry says, thanks to all you, brilliant you be. Johnny says, really? Interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll probably wrap up soon because I just wanted to show you that conjunction, you know, and I don't want to go on too long because I was talking earlier today. I went for like, 3 hours earlier today. So, yeah, and it was so much fun to talk to you. So I'll wrap up in 5 minutes. But, yeah, Dirk says, I'd love to see yourself and Paveen Mohan. He's so brilliant, isn't he, Paveen Mohan? Asahoyo says, Beetlejuice was crusting a bit. Guess more time till boom. Keith says, do you have any info on the pyramid that is rumored to be in Alaska or the tunnel in the Becheki Mountains in Romania? I do not, sir. Kim Smith says, I heard Brits used to say, if you grow your beard long enough, you'll start to look like Joseph of Arimathea. Wow. Dominic says, it's a star in the sky. We are not medieval. The only time we need to worry about a comet is if it's coming right for us. Peter says, pissing down, bad storm in QLD. Anrad says, don't be silly, wrap your willy. Scrack says, I personally don't think it will explode. I believe in the electric universe, and that glow around the star is apparently where the planets are born. I agree with you. Morton says, I have a question. Is monatomic phosphorus light gas floating around giving real loving sunlight? I don't know. Johnny says, yes, Charles, with a beard. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'll probably wrap it up. Guys, thank you so much. I'll put the photos up on the YouTube community channel, on the Facebook. I'll put them on the Twitter. I'll have a look at them now. It should be a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys later. in the next live stream, which should be soon enough. And yeah, so bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all. And yeah, best wishes to all of you. Bye-bye.